Hey YouTube, what's up guys? Today's video is all about makeup for dry skin. I hope this video will be helpful to those of you who have dry skin or eczema, or maybe you're just kind of dry this time of the year. So let's start off here with primers. I'm a huge believer in primer. I also moisturize, but I find that primer just adds a bit more of hydration to my skin. When I prep for my makeup, I always go for a primer. So I have two here that I love. So here are my two primers. They might look kind of beat up and a little bit, gone almost, but that's because I really use them all the time. So this one right here is the Makeup Forever Nourishing Primer, and I love this one. Out of their whole line, I feel like this is my favorite one. I also like the hydrating one, but I feel like the Nourishing has just a bit of a more smoothing kind of quality to it, where the hydrating one I feel like is a little bit more thin and liquidy. So if you like lotion type of primers, if you want maybe a primer that would replace moisturizer, I would suggest trying the Makeup Forever Nourishing, because this actually moisturizes my skin. Like, it also does prep for makeup, but it's pretty heavy duty stuff. Like, this one is, I would say, for people who have dry to very dry skin. Like, that's how serious heavy duty it is. For me, this one is just a bit heavy. Honestly, it feels more like a moisturizer than a lightweight primer. You can't see, it just blends right into the skin, but I really love this one. I enjoy it for days that I actually do have maybe some flakiness on my skin that day, or maybe an actual patch of eczema that day. This is what I go for. Love this one. It's great. I'm definitely going to come back to it once I use up more primers in my collection. But the other one I really wanted to mention, I believe I mentioned this one last time as well. It's the Laura Geller Spackle Primer, but this is the hydrating version. I have tried the original and it's nice, but this one just has way more moisture in it. So if you have dry skin, go for this hydrating version. This one also has kind of that lotion quality to it, but it's not as heavy as the Makeup Forever. This one is definitely more on the lighter side. It looks the exact same just coming out of the tube here, but this feels a lot thinner. It feels like more of a, I would say use this primer if you have like light dry skin, like not extremely dry skin, you know what I mean? This is the primer that I use when I don't need anything like super heavy duty. I feel like this will be great for people who have normal to dry skin. So let's say maybe your skin's just kind of on the dry side because it's winter. The other cool thing about Laura Geller is that they are available at Ulta, so you can use like coupons on their products, and a lot of the times Laura Geller's on sale, plus they have kits where you can try like their primer and their foundation together. Usually they just have really good deals. So I really like this product and I have repurchased it. This is my second tube of it, I believe. Something I get asked about all the time here, these are foundations. I have one high-end, one drugstore. These two are both my current favorites. I use them both equally. I really enjoy both of them equally. I can't really pick a favorite because they both kind of, I use them for different things. So the Fit Me, I feel like this is for when I need like long wearing makeup days. This is what I go for, more on a day-to-day basis kind of thing. It looks great in pictures, but not as well as the Naked Skin. This is definitely more of a natural looking, like flawless kind of finish. And this also, I believe, it's more of a medium coverage. You have to build it up to get full, whereas the Fit Me is definitely more of like a full coverage, I find. They're both amazing foundations. I know they're like on different ends of the spectrum. This one's under $10, where I believe this Naked Skin, I think it's like $38, $39, almost $40. So they're kind of different in that aspect, but they're both so great for my skin. I love the formulas. They are amazing. They always look very, I find that they look like kind of flawless, but not too like caked on, you know what I mean? It doesn't look like you're wearing heavy makeup, because when it comes to dry skin, you can look so cakey so fast. Another big deal for people with dry skin, I believe, is concealer. You have to find the right texture for your skin. I've tried so many concealers that were like very popular, very hyped on YouTube. For example, I tried the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer and I wanted to love it so bad. It was so expensive. I was like, I gotta use it. I tried to use that concealer for the longest time and it just looked so bad on my skin. It looked so thick and heavy, and sometimes when I look back at old pictures of myself, I feel like I was aging my skin, you know, by wearing those heavy products. And I've learned over the years that the thinner texture concealers just look better on my dry skin. So these two are both very lightweight, but one of them is pretty full coverage. One is medium, one is like full coverage. Once again, this is drugstore and this is high-end. That's just how it turned out. Like, I didn't even plan it to be that way, but these two are my favorites. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and it's totally rubbed off. I've had this for quite a while. I wear the shade 15 Fair. This is also a very affordable concealer. I want to say this was like $7 at Target, and I hadn't tried this one either for a very long time. The only reason I actually tried this was because I love the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. So I just bought this like because I love the foundation. Really like this one for when I just need a little bit of color correcting. It is more on the medium coverage. I don't feel like it really gets full coverage. You would have to layer a lot of it. I feel like I have layered this before. It doesn't really get more than medium coverage unless you really build it up. This right here is the Too Faced Naturally Radiant Concealer, and I adore this. I've already used it up 2, guys. Like, this is my 3rd one, and this shade is very fair. This one is a little bit too light for me. I just used it up because Too Faced did send me quite a few of the lighter shades, and I tested all of them out. I believe the one that looks the best on me is the shade called Fair, and that's the one I ended up buying myself after I used them all up. I'll show you right here next to the Fit Me. This is very fair, and it's just a little bit too light. This one, if I wear too much of it, can kind of wash me out a little bit, but the formula, oh my gosh, the formula on this is the best I've ever tried. I love this concealer, you guys, and if you watch my Get Ready With Me's or like empties, you already know how much I've raved about this and stuff, but I have to talk about it again. It's just that good. If you have dry skin, especially dry skin, girls and boys, listen up. This is your concealer. This has the most beautiful finish. It's very lightweight, even though this is more of a fuller coverage. It has a creamy texture to it, but when you blend it onto your skin, it definitely has a glowy satin look to it. This is more of a satiny finish concealer. So those of you who have oily skin, I'm not sure if you'll like this. I mean, this is definitely for people with drier skin. It has coconut water in it. It actually feels hydrating on my skin, which is like so crazy. I've never had a concealer that felt good going on my skin, and that is what this does for me, and that's why I just love it. Powder, something that's also a question I get asked about all the time. What are your favorite powders? These 2 right here, this is pretty much all I use now, just currently. I mean, it could change in the future. I'm always trying new stuff. This one right here is a loose powder, and this one is a pressed powder. This is the Kat Von D Lock-It Translucent Powder, and I just use the translucent one. I've been using this for a few months now. I got this through Influencer, which is like a sampling program. Like, you sign up for their boxes and they send you ones that they think will be a good match for you, and I am so excited that I got this. Like, I was very surprised that I ended up liking it because I've tried the Lock-It foundation, I've tried the powder foundation, and the pressed powder as well, and they all just end up looking very cakey on my skin. It didn't matter how I applied it or how little of an amount I used of the Lock-It foundation. It just, the texture did not work with my skin at all, and I really did not like the Lock-It foundation, but this powder is a totally different story. I tried the RCMA powder, I've tried the Laura Mercier, which I both like. Those are great powders, but this just blows them both like away. This is amazing, and I've never used anything quite like it. It has a luminous glow, it gives a little coverage, but it just feels smooth and silky. It doesn't look dry on my skin. It's like, it's seriously a great game changer as far as powder goes. I love that stuff. I'm so impressed. But anyway, okay, this is the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten. I also have talked about this for quite a few years, I think. Whoa, it's been like 2 years, I think, since I've used this product. I really like it. I've still continued to use it. I want to say this is my 3rd one. I just finished one up, and it's actually technically a powder foundation. You can wear this by itself, but my skin, I don't really work well with powder foundations just alone. I mean, my skin is dry, so just wearing powder on top, even when I buff it in, it just kind of looks a little bit weird on me. I personally use this just for setting concealer, like around my eyes or wherever I happen to put concealer, I set it with this. So my shade is Porcelain. Let me show you a swatch of it. It does kind of have like a swirly pattern, but it ends up looking just like my skin tone. It just blends right in. I just like to apply this wherever I put concealer, and it just sets it beautifully, gives my skin a glowy look. And if I happen to use more of a matte product that day, this kind of brings my skin back to life, and it just makes it look like I didn't have dry skin in the first place. So that's why I love it. I have a couple more powder compacts to just breeze through. These are products that always kind of change in my rotation. I don't really dedicate myself just to one blush or highlighter. I'm always trying different ones, but these 2 are just like solid favorites. And then this bronzer is actually something that has taken over all my other bronzers, and this is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer right here. The shade is very light. The shade is amazing. I love the shade, but the texture and the finish is what makes this for me. The finish is satin, and the texture is silk. It really does feel kind of buttery and silky. It does smell like coconut. Everyone freaks out about that. That's nice and all, but what I am like so hype about is the texture. I do feel like they need to make more shades. There's only 2 shades. They need to make a deeper one, and I feel like they need to make a couple more in between shades as well. Having 2 shades is just weird. So Physicians Formula, please stop making like 2 shades for everything you guys do. I don't get that. For blush and highlighter, these 2 are both from Wetnwild, and they are so great. Like, I have talked about both of these a lot already. I know I have, but for this video, these were the 2 products that instantly came to mind. Okay, this Rose Champagne blush. This is also kind of a nude color. I really don't wear a lot of pinky blushes anymore. It just kind of clashes with my hair color, so I tend to go for more nude shades like this. This color I love. Like, the shade is perfect. If you have fair skin, check this out. It is so good. It's Rose Champagne number 326B. This is so good. I love the color, but the other reason I like this is because it has a soft texture to it that's also more of a satin finish. This blush, the more you layer it, it actually looks kind of like a blush and highlighter in one. This is my favorite blush out of everything I have. This is in my everyday makeup drawer like all the time. I never take it out because I love this. The color and the way it looks on my skin is just unlike anything else. And I've tried like all of the other Wet n Wild blushes, but nothing comes close to Rose Champagne. This is gorgeous. I love this one. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's like $4, $3 maybe? I cannot believe the quality on this. Alright, and for highlighter here, this is the Wet n Wild Make a Glow highlighter in the shade Precious Petals. They do have a deeper shade as well, but this one is my favorite. The texture is amazing. This is not a powdery highlighter. I know a lot of people, when they think of Wet n Wild, they're like, oh, it's cheap, it's powdery, like, don't even get it. This, however, oh my god, you guys, it's one of the best highlighters I've ever had, and it's $5. Like, I believe you can even try to get it on sale. I was blown away when I first tried this highlighter. That is it for my dry skin and makeup recommendations for you guys today. Of course, I will update this video as time goes on and if my, products change and stuff. So I will keep you all updated, of course, and don't forget to let me know what you guys use for your skin down below in the comments. You can always help each other out. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and of course, I will have an updated skincare video coming. I know a lot of you have been wanting to see that lately, and if skincare is your thing, just hang tight because it's coming. But I'm not sure if you want to see me using the products or not, so let me know in a comment. I would really appreciate your feedback if you want to see me just talking about it, or if you want to see both. If you want to see me talking and describing about the products and using them, I could totally do either one. So I can't wait to hear from you all. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.